Hey everyone, it's JG, and today I want to talk about the new Mercenary guard Hadia and the direction she's taking the Arknights meta. Hadia is a 5-star guard available to anybody in the certificate store. That's not a great start. Most certificate operators are not very impressive, but she's the first operator in the new Mercenary subclass, which makes her somewhat interesting. We can expect to get a 6-star Mercenary in the next year or so, and we can look at Hadia for some hints about how they might fit into the meta over time. So let's take a look at her. First, what are her core stats? Other mercenaries are likely to be in the same ballpark here. Her DP cost is very cheap, only 10 DP when promoted with no potential. That puts her on par with fighter guards like Dagda, but where fighters are fairly fragile, Hadia is tanky. I stacked her up against other 5-star guards Dagda, Lapland, and Spectre. She has the highest HP and the highest defense of the group, but the lowest attack. While Dagda also has low attack, fighters have a fast attack rate that compensates somewhat. Hadia would need plus 60 attack speed to catch up to Dagda's attack rate. All in all, this is a pretty embarrassing attack stat for a guard, barely stronger than a 5-star Vanguard like Texas, who also attacks faster than Hadia. So her niche is shaping up to be as an early level tank, cheap to deploy and with good survivability, but you'll want to pair something like a caster or a sniper with her if you want the enemies she blocks to die. Her skills are where things get kind of interesting. Note that I said interesting, not good. She has 2 activation buttons here, and you can activate her skill in either normal mode or equipment alteration mode. Her S1 grants her even higher defense, but if you activate equipment alteration, she consumes 10 DP and gains a bonus to her attack stat in addition. Her S2 works similarly. It consumes 10 DP normally to boost her range and attack and allow her to hit 3 targets at once. You can press the alteration button to spend another 15 DP to extend the skill duration by 15 seconds. The multiplier on S2 is not bad, plus 135% attack at level 7, but that just gets her up to a respectable attack stat. While it's active, she'll do damage comparable with Lapland or Spectre and lasting a little bit longer. You could make an argument for it being stronger, but it's not so clearly better that you'd happily spend 25 DP on it. Unless you're really desperate for a multi-target ground unit, I think Hadia is skippable for pretty much everybody. I think the more interesting discussion here is how this subclass may shape the Arknights meta over time. Something you've probably noticed before is that in a lot of stages you end up sitting at 99 DP for a long period of time. This is even true in some really challenging high-end content. If you're the game designer for Arknights, this is something that will definitely bother you. DP essentially becomes a dead mechanic at a certain point in most levels. It's still technically part of the rules, but it has become irrelevant to the strategy. Dead mechanics make games feel over-designed or poorly balanced. Now, DP is super relevant at the beginning of every level, so it's not a completely broken concept, but in many levels there's not much pressure to continue paying attention to it over time. This also influences things like the balance between classes. There's frequently a point in a level where you retreat your Vanguards and replace them with stronger units, because you no longer need DP generation and you'd rather have more DPS. If DP becomes irrelevant, then Vanguards become pretty irrelevant too. So as Hypergriff looks for mechanics that keep Arknights gameplay fresh, the DP meta is one of the places where they need to continue innovating so the game feels active, dynamic, and challenging. One of the first places where they did this was with fast redeploy units and the 6-star Executors. These give you a reason to continue placing units all through the level, instead of just camping the objective point and turtling there. And it means there's some constant expenditure of DP. Recently, we see a few mechanics that they've thrown at us to keep us from sitting at 99 DP. We've got enemies that hit so hard, they're not really meant to be tanked, so you have to take your lumps and redeploy later. The Yorodstvo boss in Chapter 16 is unblockable, so you have to move your units to hit her as she moves, and she also force wipes the map and makes you redeploy mid-battle. The Limb of Sui in IS-6 also does force retreats. But most recently we see it in the newest class archetypes. Silver Ash Altar is a Vanguard that doesn't generate that much DP, but does generate value that continues benefiting units through the whole stage. The slashes from his S2 give you a reason to treat units like Executors, deploying and retreating and deploying again. And then we have this Mercenary mechanic. It gives you a way to spend DP for extra combat power without redeploying anybody. It's a new way to place DP pressure on you late in the level. It gives you a reason to consider keeping your Vanguards in play for longer, and to stop sitting at 99 DP for the second half of every level. But while I don't think that Hadia is a very good unit, she's a reminder of where the game is headed. I expect the first 6-star Mercenary will give us some compelling reasons to maximize our DP gen into the end of a level, and I expect we'll continue to see new classes and mechanics designed to keep pressure on your DP meter. That's all for today. Please like and subscribe for more Arknights analysis.